Hey guys, this is me Avidivedi and you are listening me on Extended Reality Developers of India community. Today I'm really excited to do this show because we have a very special guest with us. He is a serial entrepreneur, angel investor, public speaker, business matchmaking expert, government advisor, artist, author, community builder. He's a game programmer, most importantly, because he has this company since 1998, one of India's first companies in game development. He is a virtual reality specialist since 2006. He is working on VRML. VRML is virtual reality markup language, if you don't know. And he's an AI evangelist, means since 2002 he is working on AI. In that time there was no deep learning, or there was no practical use of deep learning. Since then he is working on AI, which means machine learning and all those models. He is a blockchain specialist since 2018. So in that time he started working on blockchain as well. But most importantly, it's really hard to talk about all the aspects of his life or his work, but we are going to tackle two things. One is obviously the game development part, and the other one is going to be the investor. So he's investing in multiple ventures. So we are going to talk about all those process and how to do that and how he's doing that. So let's invite him on the show. So welcome Arijit Da, welcome on the show, welcome on XR podcast. We are really pleased and happy to host you.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here, and I'm really happy to see your face and the energy that is floating. Really happy.
So Arijit Da, let's I gave you a little introduction, but let's start with the self introduction, because it's really hard to cover so many titles in 1 hour, but we are going to try our best.
Well, just I'm kind of a person who is like water, so whatever container you give, I just take a shape. So to give you a small brief, I'm founder and CEO of Virtualinfocom India, is one of the first game development studios, started back in 1998 in Calcutta. Somehow eastern part of India don't get a lot of focus. But yes, when I started at the age of 17, had no business knowledge, just like you guys, with a lot of passion, a lot of love. I thought to do something for the community, for the people. Um, so I'm a senator of India for World Business Angels Forum, which is 115 countries execution for business angels. I'm a nominated person for Forbes Business Council, as well as I'm a consultant for Asian Development Bank. A couple of more titles. For an example, I was a past secretary, honorary secretary of TAI Calcutta, uh, subcommittee IT member of CII. I run a couple of different ventures. For an example, I'm founder of I Am Superhero, which is a complete non-profit dedicated platform for kids who can draw, who wants to explore the world of art and technology. So that's a platform which gives them a wing to explore the superhero concept, superhero markets. So I'll give you my life story so that you can connect it why I'm doing all these kind of so-called nonsense stuff. Um, and I'm a failed entrepreneur on Cosplay, which is probably India's first e-commerce portal on cosplay called Cosplayseller.com. I was too early for the market. I'll tell you about that story as well, how it failed and how it's still yet continuing, and how we are continuing the journey. Sorry about the buffering. If there's any kind of buffering gap happening, it's completely not in my hand. In any way, I'm an investment banker. I run one of the finest platform called Entrepreneursface. We have got around 27 plus countries as a partner. What we do, we create partners, we create business matchmaking, we do the market survey, we do the market entry point for any damn different companies. In my life, I have explored various different kind of ventures, not only on technology, rather non-technology as well. And then I'm innovation director of Avaluglobal. Avaluglobal is one of the finest investment banking company based out of Australia, and so on and so forth. So it's a long list. So let me, keep myself away from all those kind of introduction. Rather, let us hop into the real podcast. I think we are good to go for that.
Okay, so as we already heard that you are a national, international level speaker, you are doing so many things, you are empowering so many startups. So let's discuss where it's all started. The innovation, where everything started, and obviously the story behind your company, from where you get the inspiration, and yeah, what is the story?
Thank you for the question, Avi. Well, I was probably in class sixth or class seventh standard. I really don't remember. Probably class fifth. I don't know. So I used to do a lot of drawing. I used to draw a lot. I used to create comic stories. I used to create superheroes on my own. And the kind of superheroes I used to create is basically taken from, you can say, my own imagination. But then I started exploring the Sanskrit world. I started exploring the world of mythology, culture. So I learned Sanskrit slowly and started exploring those kind of superhuman powers inside those mythological stories, epic stories, not only from India, from other part of the world as well. For an example, Mexico. For an example, uh, Russia. Few of the cultures of Thailand, and that was happening in my school days. So when I was doing it, usually I have been thrown out of my history classes or geography classes because I was a pure, science geek. I used to love mathematics, physics, chemistry more than any kind of so-called boring theoretical aspect because that was actually totally explored by me. Didn't want it to explore more. On that time, I used to draw comics inside the class. Of course, teachers are, uh, of course, they asked me to, go away from the class and go out of the class and then do kneel down and all, so on and so forth. In any way, whatever happened, happened for good. I started exploring that world, and then slowly and eventually, uh, I explored that there are artists in the market who are saying that, you know what, we are artists, we are not making money, but we are happy. We are happy because we are creating something cool, and normal people can't do that. And those are the days, please remember, those are the days where PC was not common in human life. It's 1996, 1997. There was no so-called internet, at least in India, at least in eastern part, as per my knowledge goes. On those days, it was dial-up connection. There was no concept of broadband. It was all using your dial-up telephone with a modem and then a PC. So in any way, I started digging, exploring those artists, their concept, and I had a question in my mind: why can't they make money? What's the problem? Why can't they make proper, sustainable amount of money? Avi, I think you need to refresh the page. It's not fully loaded. Yeah. So the main challenge that happened was understanding the business part of it rather than only the technology part of it. The challenge was, if I want to start my venture, can I get an ecosystem? So I tried my best to make people understand what we do, how we do, and in what level I want to make things happen. But trust me, I was like a half baked person in the market who couldn't establish himself in front of those guys who are saying that, you know what, yes, we are the industry people, we can actually support you or guide you. There was no such ecosystem, at least in Calcutta, which can provide me any sort of line that, okay, fine, you do this so that you can at least sustain your venture or probably you can move ahead. So what I did, instead of hopping here and there, um, I started in a different way. I started an academy. Of course, initially I took up trade license, started a company, started academy where I started teaching people on arts and started teaching people on coding. I started with very basic thing. By the by, I was 17 and I passed 12th exam, and then I left engineering and joined economics, statistics, and mathematics so that I can understand business part of it. If I go for engineering, probably I'll miss few part of business aspect. That was my thought process, and of course, my parents helped me to, you can say, not saying that, oh no, you can't leave engineering. You have to continue it. But in any case, I left that, joined it, started giving training people who are willing to understand simple coding. Started with only one student initially. It was hardly making any kind of money. It was all by sharing of knowledge. With one student, slowly I got around 25 to 30 people within 2 to 3 months, probably 3 months. So number of students started increasing because my technique or method of teaching was completely different than others. I never ever went for any kind of theoretical aspect. Rather, I went for a complete approach of real life connectivity. And when I did that, uh, about a year, I was thinking that where can I connect and where can I share what I want to do. I want to make game, and I can see that game as a marketing tool can be awesome for movie industries. So when you have that kind of thought, you try to explore the market. So I explored the market. I went to the Tollywood film industry, talked to a couple of directors. It was really hard. People usually don't want to meet. I used to sit nearby studios for hours and hours and hours. Then somehow I got a small appointment. Tried to explain them what I'm trying to do, but somehow I was too early for that market. It was 1999 and 2000 early. I couldn't crack any single deal. But somehow everyone said, your work is really fabulous. Whatever demo you're showing, really great. Oh, by the by, I was building PC game. It was not any other platform. Uh, and that's the fun part. How I built my own machine. That was assembled machine from local stores. Whatever money I gathered from that training, from the students, I brought second PC only for me. It was a funny PC. If I tell you the configuration, you guys will laugh aloud. But yes, somehow I managed to do all those kind of coding and those kind of small PC games. It was pure exe. Started exploring the market complete different way. So when I started, I saw that if I really have to dig into it, I need to go in a different way rather than a traditional way. Uh, in Chandni Chowk area in Calcutta, there used to be shops where you can get original CD of software as well as few of the CDs which is basically for movies, for entertainment purpose, as well as for games. I started talking to these people and tell them that what, I can create unique game for you guys. I'll give you inside a probably inside a CD. I don't have a CD burner. What I can do, I can bring few things. If you give me a CD burner for rent, and then probably you can sell it, and we can share the profit as a 50-50 basis. And trust me, I cracked the first deal with one of the finest CD distributor in Calcutta. He gave me one CD burner, which we call as a DVD burner nowadays. There was no DVD in those days, at least. In any way, I brought in, and then we created a very simple small racing game for kids, totally done by me. Like the graphics, the coding, everything was completely from the scratch. But somehow people loved it because of the connectivity, because of the somehow the easiness of the game. We started selling it with 30 rupees per CD basis, and I used to earn a, you can say, profit ratio of 12 to 14 rupees. I'll tell you why 1 rupees is minus, because that I take as a traveling cost and my own cost. So I started understanding the commerce part before I hop into saying that I made a profit of 50%. It was not a profit of 50%, of course. But anyway, that gave me a good amount of money. We sold thousands of CDs like this. And I got the idea how to do it, how to maintain it. Now the time is how to create a great team, how to create my own employee base. Now, there is a difference between team and employee base. When you recruit people, you can actually have employees. When you have people who are in the same mindset, same vision like you, who are not working with you for only money, but rather they are working with you for more than money. They want to build the company with you together, they want to stay with you. So now is the time to get those people on board. And slowly I started digging into it, and by god of grace, I got one guy from nearby village. who became an artist in my company, and then slowly I got four different other guys who joined and continued the journey till date there with me. I'm really blessed that I have got those kind of people in company. So what I did, I shared profit percentage from the company, not only the basic salary. It was just peanuts for them. I mean, I shouldn't dare to tell you that kind of salary which I used to give in those days, 2000, 2001. But somehow they stayed with me. We used to share small food with each other. We used to share our blood and sweat like anything, literally blood and sweat. Sleepless nights, fun together, chilling for probably 2 to 3 days continuous basis. I miss those days now at least in 2020. In any way, it's a complete young team, wanted to explore the vast world, got a lot of bashing, a lot of, you can say, leg pulling from the market, a lot of different kind of tagline that this guy is trying to do something which is unheard. I mean, he's saying something really odd. I mean, I have been treated as a animation guy rather than a gaming guy. People used
Right.
to tell me that he's doing animation. I said, no, I do game. No, no, okay, these are all same. Animation and game is same. I said, come on, man, animation don't need coding. We are hardcore coders. No, it's same. Okay, so you don't have to say anything. So like that was the fun part of it. But in any case, probably in 2007, things changed a lot. We survived. We took a new office nearby a very prime posh area in Calcutta called Salt Lake. We started recruiting people from various different campus. Our institute became really big. We started online training on various different aspects. And the best part is when people said that these guys are from animation, we started animation training school. We started comics training school. We started, giving training on different language. And in fact, Python is one of my favorite language. Oh, to tell you, Ove, when people talk about Python nowadays, I still remember my tagline about Python. When I used to say, learn Python, these are the benefits. In my back, people used to say that this guy is crazy, man. He's talking about some snake in programming. So, so, so anyway, we actually somehow created a kind of ecosystem, which is probably really proud that probably the outcome of my whole team. We never ever wanted to have a lot of limelight. Rather, we wanted to stay focused on our journey, and then of course build community and give back to the community itself. So what we did, we really, my team, me, we traveled various different part of India, mainly in villages, trying to find out uh, how do I define the term? Trying to find out the great minds, I should say, who don't have money, who don't have the luxury, who don't have the option to learn, but have a lot of passion and fire in belly. We started taking those people on board, started giving them training. I can go on with example. For example, Sundarbans is one of the area, Malda is one of the area, Malbaja is one of the area, Jalpaiguri is one of the area. So all nearby Calcutta region. Then uh, people started to recognizing us as kind of good people who are coming with a lot of good passion, saying that, hey, your kid got some passion. You don't need to really pay some money, but just give him or her to us. We'll train him, take him on board as our employee. They will stay with us. Food is on us. You just have to pay for the rent for the place. It's a common place. You can stay. And the training is, of course, free. Well, in those days, these models were really, really working. People started coming to us. They started traveling from various part of India. I got people from southern part of India. We got people from eastern part of India. Of course, from mid part of India. They used to come to us. Used to get training. Used to become programmers. Not only on games, to be very honest, we started giving training on various different technologies, on .NET, on of course on Python, of course on web technology, and slowly they started entering into the technology world. And those are the blessings. Probably that's one of the reason we exist till date for the last 22.5 years. So in 2007, I felt that, okay, fine, things are moving. Okay, let me explore and give back more. Let me not become someone who is only making money for himself. Rather, let me try to help others. Because when I started, nobody actually helped me. Rather, it was all bully and leg pulling. So let me give back instead of all saying nonsense stuff and giving all those geeky talks. So initially, I explored one person. He was like probably 3 years younger than me. Kind of, you can say, I was doing probably. I'm done with my MCA. So after my graduation, I did my MCA. So I'm done with my MCA, and that fellow on that time probably was doing his masters. I really don't remember. Probably the final year. Probably he wanted to do something cool on specs. So he was an optometrist, and he was doing his MBA. Yeah, he was an MBA student, and then he wanted to explore the business world. He said that he used to tell me, "Sir, you know what? I want to grow more. I want to do something awesome, and really, really, I want to do something on business world. Nobody is there to help me. Could you please help me with some seed capital or maybe some kind of connection, some amount of good vibration?" I felt me standing in front of myself. There is a concept of me and myself. I'm not sure whether you guys understand this, but somehow I felt that. I felt that urge, and I said that, okay, fine, let me help you. Let me see what I can do. Uh, well, we started a very small boutique specs shop, but the concept was different. It was not only about shop. We started sending our salespeople door to door to give a check of your eyes and say that, hey, you have got this amount of problem. Why don't you take spectacles from us? And this is the kind of cost that you need to pay. That was running really fabulous way, and I took my sweet exit after 5 years. This guy is till date running his business. Of course, he shifted from India to some other country, but he's still running it. That's my first exploration of, if you ask me as an angel, if you ask me as a community builder, whatever you call it, uh, giving back to the community for business world, whatever. So after that incident, when I did in 2007, since 2008 onwards, I started giving back to the newcomers in the market. At least in 2008, people used to be humble. People used to, respect others, and that was the kind of touch that started. I started giving mentoring sessions to uh, local startups. To be very honest, the very term entrepreneur was not there when I started my journey. It was all businessman. But in 2007-8, the term entrepreneur came in the market, and I understood that, oh my God, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a business guy. So somehow, whoever I'm meeting, they are supposed to be entrepreneur, not businessman.
Hmm.
And then slowly I'll explore what is the difference between both of them, and how to actually give them real market connect instead of only talking with them and giving them some kind of gyan. So what I started doing, I'm not sure really, Obi, I'm just going with impromptu mode. I'm just talking from my heart. So what I have seen in the market, people give a lot of, you can say, inputs. You should do this, you should do that. How you do this, nobody's saying. People are saying that, okay, you know what? You need to find a market, you need to do a market survey, and then you need to find your niche, and then you need to go through that niche. How you do it? How to find that? From where you're going to get your first sales? How to define who is not your customer? Nobody's saying. So I started doing it, and somehow the way I started doing it is a very simple way. I never ever took a lot of mentee in a month. Rather, I dedicated my time for only 3 mentees in a month. I dedicated approximate you can say, half a day in a week, mainly in Saturdays and Sundays, 2 days for these mentees, and then filter out only one person from three of them, and then working closely with that chap. Somehow from government of Bengal, they started a MSME program, probably 2010. I really don't remember the year, but I'll go on. Um I got a lady. She came to me. She said that, sir, I am a dry flower manufacturer. I have got only my mother. Don't have lot of money, but I want to grow more. I want to scale up more. Can you help me? It was a challenge for me. I'll tell you the reason. I'm a complete techie guy, and exploring all those non-technological business was challenge in initial days. So what I did, I used my small intelligence level. Somehow I knew that there are groups in Greece who sell umbrella with a certain amount of cost. I did my back study. I connected with them. I had a chat with those guys and understood the need of the market. And I told that lady that, hey, can you give me a one example of one fashionable umbrella with your dry flowers and one fashionable dress with your dry flowers. Can you make it? She said, sir, I can try, but I'm a non English reader. I can't speak in English as well. I'm a class 8 standard pass out lady. Do you feel that I can sustain? Avi, just let me know if I'm overshooting time, okay?
No, it's totally fine.
Okay. So, I told her that that's your challenge. I'm not going to help you, but rather I'm going to give you a couple of links wherein probably you can read, go back. She said, I don't know how to use computer. So it was challenge for her, but somehow if you have fire in your belly, really speaking, you crack anything in the world. She did that. I'm really proud about her, at least as a passionate entrepreneur. Well, she went back, learned how to use basic computers in the sense how to use mouse and keyboard, how to surf the net. She did one fashionable umbrella and a half-baked dress, came in front of me after 1.5 months, said, sir, here it is. Now what? I said, hold on. So I took pictures. I started giving mail to those guys whom I already talked to, told them, hey, this is the final product. We have been talking for last 1 month, and this is the price you can sell. This is the price we can export, and this is the kind of profit margin we are expecting. Is it fine? Can you take it forward? Of course, 8 of them said that, yeah, we can take it forward. Just send us those objects. We are ready to pay 50% in an advance. So I said, lady, you are through. She said, sir, how can I send? I don't know how to do it. I said, okay, go here, create a company, go there, take a trade license, go this place, take an import export license, talk to this gentleman. He will clear out your, all those kind of nitty-gritties, packaging and other things, and you're through. And that's how she started her journey. And I mean, just believe it or not, she's running 300 plus employee strength company nowadays. A lady without education, without any kind of, you can say, proper so-called knowledge of business. So that's what I feel as mentoring should happen. It should happen with proper handholding instead of only saying that, hey, you should do this or you should do that. Probably for the last uh, I think 2010, 11, I started creating a lot of different platforms. So I started animation reviews as a platform which is reviewing movies, games on a review platform, review basis. Whoever needs any kind of review for yourself, of course, they can come to us. We started I Am Superhero as a platform. We started Animgaming as a platform. Animgaming became a platform for indie developers. Yeah, that's animation review. Um, we started exploring a new way of making games, to be very honest. The new way, let me tell you what we did. If you remember, Avi, I was talking about the film industry. Nobody gave me any kind of focus. Nobody
Right,
listened to me. That was the
right.
challenge. So I'm a kind of guy. If you give me any kind of challenge, if you say that it's not going to happen, you are not going to have it. So it's like I'm going to have it. So that's the kind of mindset I have. So what I did, um, probably in 2011, probably I took a challenge, or rather, we all took a challenge. We thought that why not make our own game title with real people, with real actor and actress and model. It was really challenging, trust me. On those time, it was early days of engines. It was very early days of making 3D models with realistic character. And in Calcutta, there was no such studio which can give us a 360-degree view visualization of all those aspects. Anyway, we started exploring the modeling world, got in touch with a lot of local unknown models who are doing ad and pictures and all. I'll come to the Glamworldface. Please give me some time. Yeah. And we started exploring local models in a very different way. We told them that, hey, you know what? We are going to take your picture in 360 degrees. You're not going to do modeling, rather, you will be in a T pose or A pose. They said, what the hell is T pose and A pose? So I started giving drawing to them, teach them what we are trying to do. One of the lady, her name is Srijla, she accepted the fact. She said, hey, you know what? I am a gamer. I play games. I would love to become a game character. Could you please convert me as a gaming character? I said, okay. It was a first time challenge for us. Trust me, it was not so easy. Taking a photographer was really challenging. We had fashion photographers, we had normal product photographers, but when you talk about creating one character out of one human being, getting a photographer was a challenge. Lighting was a challenge, big challenge in studios. Somehow we cracked it. We created that lady into a gaming character, but then it took a decision that we will launch a game which is a storyline based game connected with each other. We floated, probably, I don't know if it is India's first or not, but at least Calcutta's first RPG game called Ashwatthama the Immortal. And the way we do it is we started digging the mythology. If you remember, I used to read a lot about Sanskrit. I started digging Pali. I took people who can read Pali in the organization, took help of a lot of research fellow. And believe it or not, my school teachers, my history teacher, he said, you are the guy whom I used to throw out of the class. Now you came to me and saying that you need a research on Ashwatthama. I said, yeah, I need a research on Ashwatthama. I need a lot of information because we want to create a game. So he got interested, and somehow we match make with each other. Nirmala sir, I'm really blessed that I have you in my life. And of course, we started digging all those aspects of that character, the storyline, and slowly we digged into it. We created that game long back. We practically motion capture or the recorded the Kalaripayattu style from Kerala. We invested a lot by traveling, recording stuff, and then taking things and all. And the kind of picture that you are watching over there, all these characters, like this character Avisi, we took it from the the concept of ghost. In those days, the solo meaning of Avisi is half dead kind of person. You know, in those days people used to do black color in their body and then used to do those kind of tattoo so that they look like ghost or rakshas or those kind of demon, so that enemy actually fear them. We tried to give all those aspects in the game, and we converted one person from Calcutta who became Ashwatthama as a character, as a face, created few of more characters in a very low poly mode. Engines was not that uh, cool, I should say. Didn't have that kind of strength to hold a lot of graphics for mobile. In fact, mobile phones was not that smart enough, which can hold a lot of GPU, or rather lot of graphics. Somehow we made that game and we created a storyline with Ashwatthama and then the lady who became first character that became Katya. So we created the game in such a way so that Ashwatthama is connected with the game Katya. Katya is connected with another series of game called Fight of the Legends, and Fight of the Legends is connected with another game called Shaktimaan. I'll talk about Shaktimaan, of course. So slowly we started making superheroes, which was like my dream. We started creating a lot of different characters, and while doing it, I started recruiting a lot of models. A lot of models who are practically known and unknown, not only celebrities, and not only from India. Trust me, I mean, believe it or not, I got another request from an Italian model, Vanja. She wanted to become a game character, and that's she. I mean, Moon Lady, the lady that you're watching. Okay, and she said, "Hey, you know what? I don't need any kind of money. I just want to become a character into your game. You know what? I want to put my face into that game itself." I said, "Okay, fine. Let's explore it." So while exploring it, I found that there is a huge gap in modeling and acting industry. So why can't we create a platform to give platform for the newcomers in the industry? I mean, there are a lot of hits and hypes that's happening. So hence we created that platform called Glamworldface, which is giving opportunity to work in movie industry, glam world, ads, and a couple of other aspects like magazines and all. We started exploring the ad world, and to be very honest, I'm blessed that I have got my co-founder into it. That's a very young, energetic guy from Calcutta. He said, "You know what, Dada? Well, Dada is like a big brother. He's a web developer." He said, "You know what, Dada? I really want to join your journey. If I can add any value into this particular glam world, I'll be more than happy." I said, "Okay, fine, join me. I don't care. I mean, I'm okay to share whatever money we are generating." He said, "I want to, cross check the financials. I'm not a business guy, rather, I'm a techie guy." I said, "Great. You take care of technology. Let me take care of the business part of it. Let's build something amazing together." And slowly, a few of the advisors, they joined us. One of the movie theater hall owner, he joined us as an advisor. I have got pleasure to have a couple of celebrities who became part of it. They started helping us. Of course, I got a lot of help from Bangladesh, India, Ukraine, a few of the Russian part, of course, from few parts of Australia. People started joining us. People started giving us good works, and that's a separate entity that we created. So I don't say that this is my angel investment. Rather, I should say it's a separate investment, separate body, not at all connected with Virtualinfocom. But yes, what we do till date, whenever we get good models which can become a great gaming character, we take them on board as a gaming character. So it's a kind of wave that we created so far. Like we have got a media channel. We have okay. For your information, we are doing World Leader Summit in December 2020 with 95 different countries.
Right.
Whatever strength I have got, whatever connections I have got, I always felt that let me share with people, let all share it. That's how you can grow. It's not about you are only growing. You know what? Um, it's not philosophical, but to be very honest, you can live a life of probably a very rich guy. It doesn't matter. Making money is not a big deal nowadays. Raising fund is not a big deal. Trust me, I've raised millions of dollars for my clients. That's not a problem, and I get my sweet cut. But when you give back, when you get those smiles, when you get those, un, uh, okay, let me define it this way. When you get smile from a child making a statement without any kind of noise, any kind of voice, I'm really happy whatever you did for my people, my family, my mother, my father. I'm really happy. And then he or she is giving you a kiss. I think that's the feedback I am working for. I don't care how much money I'm making. I really don't care. I care about those smiles. I care about those, faces who can practically smile at me and say that, "Hey, you know what? I'm happy to see you. I can see that you are my people. I mean, you are my person. You are from my village. I mean, I don't care if you are coming from a city area. I don't care that you are founder of one of the oldest company. I don't care that you're traveling the globe. I don't care how many languages you speak, but I feel that you are from my village, and that's the kind of approach I am getting from people. So that I am is mixing with people becomes we am. That's the story, Avi.
So, apart from, talking about all this work, this is so fantastic and this is so in depth with what we see right now in these days. Let's talk about. I'm a big fan of your work, and major part of it, the most important reason behind also your work and why I'm a fan of you is the Shaktimaan the game. So you, I mean, bring life to one of my favorite superheroes, and I'm really thankful to you for this. So let's talk about how you came in touch with Mukesh Khanna and how this game is came to life.
Oh yeah, that's a story to tell.
Yeah.
Well, I was there in Mumbai, probably taking on board a couple of more actor and celebrities. I really don't want to name them. You will find them in our game. That's not a problem. We have got series of games. Uh, but yes, when I met him in person, he is my superhero as well in my childhood. I used to see him in TVs, and Shaktiman is moving like this, wearing like this. So when I met him, he said that, "What do you want? You are a Bengali guy. I expected that you'll be in your dhoti kurta. You are in suit. My God." I said, "Sir, I am building this. This is the kind of superhero concept I have built so far. This is the kind of games that I have built so far. But honestly speaking, if I make your game just like the TV series, it will be really challenging." He said, "Okay, fine. Um, but do you feel that I should become Shaktiman now? I'm old. Like, you can't have me as a character. Like, I am not fit enough." I said, "Sir, just leave it to me. You just be with us, allow us to take your pictures. That's it. You don't have to think anymore." He said, "Okay, fine. But, lekin, it has to be in Hindi. I'm really sorry. शक्तिमान का झंडा नीचे नहीं होना चाहिए." I said, "Okay, fine. It's not going to be down. No worries." So we built the first game, Shaktiman, the game, and then we built Shaktiman, the battle. And the concept was not to have any kind of connection with the TV series. None of the character should have there. A lot of complexity with legalities, a lot of complexity with other factors. So somehow we took that challenge. We said, "Okay, fine, we'll be adding Shaktiman character as a character, in of course as a separate entity. But yes, Shaktiman will be the guru of all our superheroes, which is coming up in next coming games and coming days, whatever you can say." So eventually, we made him as a character who is like a guru of all those superheroes which we are making. And whatever character you are watching, those characters are from real people converting them. Could you please go to fightofthelegends.com, Avi, if you can?
Yeah.
Fight of the Legends. It's a website. So fightofthelegends.com.
Fight of the Legends.
So those are the game.
Yeah, got it.
Got it? Yeah. Could you please go to? I can see there should be a character as a menu. Can you see characters or
Yeah, got it.
yeah? So here you are. So if you look at all these characters, if you can click on anyone, like if you can click on Katya as a character, please click on Katya. Katya,
This
yeah,
one?
this one.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the lady I was mentioning, that she became Calcutta's first model who became a 3D character inside our game. That's her, and that's her 3D avatar. So that's how we started creating Fight of the Legends characters as a series, and Shaktiman eventually, the storyline connected with this. It's a complicated storyline. We have an intention of creating a large game which we are making in house for last 2.5 years, and probably will release it in I'm not sure, maybe 2022, with a proper game with Big Bang, with real all those platform support. With, you can click on any character, you can see the person behind it. Like, this is a 3D character, you can't have a real person, but if you want to click any other character, maybe a human being, you can see him or her. Probably you, yeah, that's Suprio. So all these guys, they became popular, at least in gaming world, whenever they are out in the market. At least, okay, I can talk about Suprio on his behalf. Whenever he travels in Asian countries, he is called as Mitra, not as Suprio. When he is there in Thailand, people used to call him as Mitra. Hey, I mean, how are you? You become a game character. So somehow we have various alternative method of publishing our games with publishers, of course, with a few of the telecom providers. We started exploring things into a couple of different ways of doing stuff, couple of interesting ways of making things happen. Somehow it's not about success. Somehow it's all about passion that is driving all of us towards various different methods of making things. Could you please go down? Like, I want to show you someone. Yeah, not this one, the previous one, Vajra. Yeah, this one. So that's Dipanjan. He's a, you can say, brand model for a lot of different brands. But when I said that, would you please become my character? He said, of course, yes, why not? And you know what? What we did? We did probably, I'm not sure again if it is a different concept or not. I think in 2017 we did a cosplay show in ITC Sonar Bangla with all these characters, with all those dresses, and we started selling those dresses through our e-commerce portal, which eventually is not making a lot of money, but yes, till date it's running. So probably you can see, yeah, that's the cosplay kind of show that we are doing with limited number of resources, whatever we can do. But yes, these guys, these models are there with us for so many years till date. Whenever I call them, they say, yeah, yeah, we are ready, whether, I mean, we became MTV star, whether we became, whatever, we don't care. I can show you a MTV star. I mean, she became a MTV star, as well as she is now the lead character for Kartik Purnima. If you go back to Fight of the Legends, I would love to show Polo Me Polo. Hold on, just go up. Please go up, up, up a little bit, up a little bit. Yeah. Can you see Coco character? Yeah. Can you click? Yeah. So that's Follow Me. I'm not sure whether you recognize her or not. She is Kartik Purnima's Purnima, a leading character. She became a gaming character long way back when she didn't have any kind of name. So all these kind of characters, all these kind of platform we are trying to make and giving back. Your question, sir.
Amazing, amazing. It's fantastic to see so many characters and they are coming live and they're actually the real person is behind them, is playing them. So you are taking the essence and characteristics of a real person and converting them to a digital one. It's an amazing initiative. And now let's talk about the serious stuff, the investment. So now you are an angel investor to a lot of startups. So how do you see in your terms what is investment and why we need investment and when we need investment, which is the most important question. So when I'm eligible to get the investment, what characteristics should I show?
Super. I'll go with the last line of yours. What characteristics should I show?
Yeah.
First of all, be very, very humble. I mean, I'm sure you all are smart, but to be very honest, if you show something in front of the investors, which is like impractical, that's really, really difficult. Number one. Number two, to get any kind of investment, if you're looking for angel round, if you're looking for VC round, your company should be investment ready. First of all, you need a great team. Now, usually we have teams with friends, we have teams with families, we have teams with techie guys, but get people on board who is great in business, who is great in making money. And if you are making money at the moment, say for an example, if you're making, say, I don't know, maybe 1% profit or 2% profit, this is the right time for you to go for any kind of investment rally. I'll tell you the reason. When you are making money and you want to scale up, you dilute less amount of your company. When you're not making money, when you are probably in a very idea stage and you have a great idea with a cool team, you are looking for a lot of money from investors, you dilute a lot of your percentage to the investor. Now, from the perspective of investor, a smart investor never wants to take big chunk of your company. I'll tell you the reason why. As a investment professional, you have to probably either take profit or you have to sell your percentage to the second round. Now, if as an investor I'm taking the large pie of it, it's really difficult for anyone, any other investor to kind of come on board and say that, hey, you know what, um, I'm going to invest so and so X amount, and this fellow, the first investor, took a lot of money. It's really hard. So don't dilute a lot. Rather, take on board people who are from industry, who are good guys, good people who can guide you, who can give you a lot of knowledge. And of course, you must have a minimum 3 to 5 years projection of your business. That's a mandatory factor. The most important part of making that, so-called Excel sheet of 5 years projection is being realistic. Don't go with data from Google. Everybody understands it. If you ask me, trust me, Avi, I have been dealing with multiple different ventures, not only technology. I've been dealing with solar energy. I've been dealing with beer breweries. I've been dealing with aircraft maintenance. I raise funds for all these kind of different ventures. I can go on with names if you want. Food deliveries, FMCG ventures, a lot of different variety of ventures. Each and every business do have its own essence. You just can't take data from Google and say that, hey, this is my future plan, this is my, projection plan, this is the template that I have got, and this is how I'm following it. Don't follow any of those data. Be original. Don't show us that this is the larger market of $22 billion and you're going to grab 10% of that $22 billion. Agree with all the passion, but what you have right now, if you are in the stage that you're making money, or maybe you're not making money, it doesn't matter, but if you don't get investment, you can sustain for next 1 year, then this is your right time to look for investment. In any case, to crack a deal will take you 6 to 7 months if it's a proper deal. Legalities, communication, transaction of money, various different aspects are there. And if it is happening from out of India, I mean, good luck. It takes a lot of time. You know, uh, let me give you one example of one of my portfolio company based out of Australia. Their name is Bring Me Up. So they are mainly into food delivery, just like your Zomato and Swiggy here in India. So what they did, they started with a lot of passion. They started their venture, and after a few years, they felt that if we are in this speed, we are not going to achieve it within next 10 years. But if we get investment, we can do it within next 3 to 4 years. That's the kind of decision you need to take. So when we became friends, I call it as a friends. Investor doesn't mean that you have to be like, a monkey on the top of the startup. You know. So I usually love to become friend, not in initial level, but at least after a couple of communication. Okay. So when we became friends, we understood that these guys really want to expand their business from one location to another location, and they need such and such path. So I brought in those people who can actually give them those paths instead of only money. And then slowly they started getting a lot of different kind of aspect of doing business and how to make things happen. They are not a technical guy. They are completely from food delivery mechanism. So they got technical people on board now. They got people who understand finance, playing with money, and then slowly they got those kind of desired investment and scale up opportunities. One example. Second example, I love to give this example. It's not happened yet, but yes, it's in final stage. Uh, in Australia, we are supposed to build the largest air. Uh, I'm not sure how many of your audience do understand this, but yes, I'm sure they are game developers. They will understand it. So like they're supposed to build aircraft engines.
Hmm.
This is going to be one of the finest and largest. They got the initial level of funding. They started the project with government supports and all. So what we did, we connected a Ukrainian based extended reality company who can give them solution to make those engines in XR. I mean, you guys, all of you guys know that what is the power of XR. So we convinced the team that yes, if you integrate XR, this is the kind of benefit that you're going to get. This is the kind of speed that you're going to get, and that adds a value to your investment circle as well. This is how you do the business matchmaking. It's not about only just communicating and connecting with each other. It's just legalities, two different countries law, exploring if technology will play some role. If yes, through which channel you do it. Is it Singapore, Malaysia, US? There are a lot of legalities you need to understand. It's not a one night job. It takes years of experience to understand how money will flow and from where money will flow. uh, when you are going through those Middle East based investors, there are options, there are possibilities wherein you can actually explore the market in a very decent way. But you yourself need to decide whether you are okay to engage yourself, your time, and your money. And trust me, Avi, nowadays I really don't go with free mentoring session. If you're paying me 1 rupees, I don't care, but you need to pay something for the time. I need to understand whether you're serious or not. Okay, so those are the kind of, I think, approach people should have before they go for investment. And of course, during the investment process, get a lawyer on board. That
Wow.
helps. That helps a lot.
That's a very important tip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
important.
Arijita, we have a question from Nishu Sinha. And Nishu Sinha is the co-founder of Coslin. And he is asking that how do I know in fraction of time of interview that the person is skilled in some form or the person actually has some skills or not? So in fraction of time, how do they interview somebody like this?
Okay, cool. Just ask him a very basic question. What you can do for us, instead of asking him that what are your skills and what is your vision. Just ask him, and
Hmm.
don't go for fraction of second. Give him a piece of paper and ask him to write down in points. If he is starting his journey in your company, what are the things that he is going to bring, and what is his understanding about the company? You will understand it from the writing. I'll tell you the reason. When you ask someone to write, the human neuron works differently. When you're talking, neuron works differently. With that writing, you will get to know whether he is worthwhile or not.
So what are the key features we need to look in the writing?
Whether he is in for your company for next 3 years, whether, if you are not there in the company, you as a founder,
Hmm.
if you are not there in the company, I'm not sure. Are you a indie development company, or it's a
Yes,
stable
yes.
company?
We are an
Indie,
indie. Yeah.
indie. Okay. So if you are not there in your company, it's not a tip for a stable company. Okay, it's a tip for the indie ones. If
Yes.
you're not there, if this guy can run the show or not. If yes,
Totally.
take him on board, and
Okay.
take on board people who are smarter than you. Don't take people who is less smart. It doesn't work like this. You know, to be a great leader, you need to understand that you should have a step back. You make others leaders. So you need leaders in the company instead of employees.
That is very true. Even I have faced situations when I know the answer and I can simply give them whatever my knowledge is about the subject, but I encourage them instead to figure out by themselves by encouraging, right? So that they could build that sort of passion of finding things, and they can be sustainable, and by their own they can find things.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand this, and it's a very great answer to this question. Also, let's talk about the scalability. So it's a $1 million question again, but how do you see a startup is scalable? What sort of features make a startup scalable? As an investor, when you are going to invest in something, what features you look for specifically? Why it's a good idea to invest in a startup, and what makes it a bad idea?
Well, no idea is a bad idea, to be very honest. I mean, a super shitty bad idea can become great if your execution is right.
Right.
In the world, there are 75% water, but somebody smart ass who came and say that, hey, this is a bottled water, you should drink it.
Mhm.
You know, so it depends on you how you are trying to execute it.
Totally.
But yes, when I, at least I shouldn't say about others, when I look at any kind of idea, or rather any kind of business plan, I usually look at the team and the way they are executing it, and the way they can executing it, probably the past track record, or probably some amount of something. I mean, something should be shown. uh, and yes, if that is not showing in the business plan, probably sometimes a face-to-face meeting is really great, when people can understand whether he can do it or he can't do it. So that's really difficult and hard to share, but I'll try to make it very simple. For an example, if you look at the market, I usually go by the market size. So in my company, in Entrepreneurface, we have team who can actually explore the market size. It's not about from data. We practically dig into the market, practically understand that whatever he's saying, is it scalable or not scalable. Now, talking about scalability, how will you determine whether it is scalable or not scalable?
Yeah.
Uh, okay, I'll give you live example. I think that will solve your question. I'm not taking any name. I shouldn't do that. In any case, there was a startup from Ahmedabad who created a very simple, small device, which is for blind people. So when he tried to do it in India, he couldn't do it very well. But then uh, somehow I suggested him, why don't you explore the African market? When he started exploring the African market, he got great, you know, feedback from the market, and then he started selling it. Then I sent him to a Middle East based country to represent India as one of the fastest growing technology based company. He represented himself over there in podium, and when you are representing yourself in the podium, of course you get all the limelights, right? And he explored it, and he slowly grabbed various different aspect of business. So the reason I'm sharing you this story is practically, yeah. So you can see the number of mentors that we have. You can see the kind of investors we have. You can see the kind of services that we do. So if you need any kind of service, any kind of help, it's chargeable. But yes, it's like really super cool, less cost that we can do things for you. And there is a resource portal you can probably hop in. If you can click on the blog, that's a kind of resource portal. We have got people from industry who are writing it. You can go to the top and click on the blog, probably right inside top. There is a, I can't see
Resource.
your, yeah.
Resource.
So you can probably read. There are a couple of different topics we usually encourage people to read, understand, learn, explore. Various, I think more than 200 plus topics are there. You can
Wow.
understand how to create business plan. You can understand how not to create probably some kind of data. Various different aspects from governments are there. Various things which is happening in the world. Those things are there. I mean, you can read, understand, share, get back to us, all there for you guys. So those are the simple factors. And talking about scalability factors, understand if there is any kind of need in your country, if it is not, if there is any kind of need out of India or not. If there is, what is the location? If there is a location, what is the depth of people who are not your customer? If you can
Hmm.
give me an answer who are not your customer, probably that's the answer at least I am looking for. I'm not looking for your customer base. I'm
Okay.
looking for who is not your customer.
I think these questions are really, really important in any term. We have to first figure out your plan, that who is your customer or not, right?
Yeah, but you anybody can actually explore who is your customer. But I'm
Right.
actually looking for not your customer. I'll tell you the reason. When you go to a go to a shop, you want to buy some toys for kids.
Mm-hmm.
When you give advertisement to TV,
Hmm.
that TV ad is for whom? Is it for the
For
kid?
everyone. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it for the kid, or is it for the parents, or is it for both? But when you are going to the shop, for the shop owner, the customer is the kid or the parent? That's a question to all of the audience. If you can give me the answer, I think that's the answer that you are looking for.
At a toy shop, customer is a kid.
And at the ad,
At that, the customer that is going to be everyone because TV usually targets everyone.
think again, who is paying?
Payer is always the parents.
Okay, okay. I'll just put it in front of everyone. I mean, you don't have to answer now.
Totally.
Any other questions, Avi?
Yeah. So again, talking about yeah. So we can talk about the cutting edge technologies you are right now working at. So you, as mentioned, you have worked on VR, AR, AI, and blockchain. So yeah, your experiences in that.
Okay. So I'll go with blockchain. So we those are practically for clients. To be very honest, we don't have real product on blockchain in company. So we did a couple of blockchain-based solutions. Like we created wallet for few of those organizations. We created a system for a co-working place. It's a chain of co-working place. We started that project in 2018. That was the entry point of us entering into the blockchain world, I should say. So it's like it was creating a total platform interconnected system for all those co-working places which is under their circle, and the system is such that you have the option to connect, communicate with the community. You can do everything using those decentralized method. And then we created a lot of not lot, I should say two of the solution for two universities on results and maintaining their whole university mechanism. So these are the kind of blockchain projects that we are doing, and of course we are doing a couple of decentralized way of doing stuff. We are till date exploring the world of quantum technology. Haven't done a lot. We did only one single project on this on that particular platform, which is like cool for us till date. Extended reality, we did a couple of factors, couple of things, mainly on oil rigging. We have got clients who are practically using and utilizing our solution for a simulation process before going into the real aspect. It's a training mode that we created. In virtual reality, we made a few of the games, and the way we are distributing is basically through the local hardware manufacturers, mainly in Taiwan, China, and few of the other parts of Asia. The reason we go in that method because that gives us more money and more stability rather than going through the traditional way of doing and distributing products, to be very honest. Of course, in augmented reality, we have got our couple of small games, and the best part is we are building one very interesting game which is with tokens with augmented reality. Probably will release it, and maybe I'll share the news with you. So these are
Okay.
the factors that we are doing, and in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we co-produced or co-developed one solution for detecting human face and skin color, which can actually detect whether you have some kind of disease, fever, illness, any kind of cough or not. Using the camera, it can actually detect your using the sensor. Of course, you can detect the human life, and that we used initially starting from Denmark, and I became a board member into that organization slowly. That's a super cool solution that we did, and it's a kind of COVID solution that eventually became around a couple of months back. The intention was not at all for COVID, but somehow it happened, and then we used it for the COVID part. We did quite a few projects with partnership in US for IoT platform. It's a smart home solution. It's basically it's a complete easy thing. Like you can actually control your home appliances using your smartphone. It's a complete easy stuff. But the way we did it, like we created our own hardware, own router, own switch, and that organization is called Smart Domus. It's a two people running company based out of US. Two of them are Indians. I'm just a small part of it. Try to help them out. That's it.
Wow, it's amazing, amazing stuff you are doing. So, talk about again. Come to finance. You have worked as a investment banker for several companies and several countries. So, let's talk about your portfolio companies as an investment banker and number of countries you have worked and networked in.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Avi. I've been working in Asia. I mean, almost every part of Asia. In Europe, I did a couple of works in Spain, in Iceland, in France, in UK, of course. Australia, I have. I shouldn't say I. It's like a three people company, so we have our own investment banking company, Avaluglobal. That's practically working globally. And I very humbly I represent two VC funds for finding great companies to invest in. One is based out of Asia and one is based out of US. I have got my own HNI people, friends, corporate connections who are practically somehow checking the startup that is there within our circle. So we have a very simple policy of filterization of startups, and then of course taking them on board, taking them forward. I forgot to mention Finland. Finland, I did a lot with few of the innovative projects that they have. For an example, Serahit is one of the finest company who started building. It's a very unique company. What they do, they create solution with alternative power and sustainable energy. And then we have got a couple of solar backpack companies, a couple of who are into technology, non-technology, sustainability. It's a large portfolio. To be very honest, it will take probably another session to uh, talk about all of them. But every portfolio company of ours are doing really really well, and I'm really happy and proud for all those tiger riders.
Tiger Riders, absolutely. So, one thing about Tiger Rider, you mentioned in your TED talk that running a business like riding a tiger. So, let's talk about your message to the people. If you have something to express to people, if you want something to follow or something to have adopt in their life. One thing I loved about you is whenever you talk about business, you talk about in a noble perspective. You don't like cheating people with the businesses or charging them a stupid amount of money or for not that value. You always craft your business around some sort of noble purpose, and also you try to figure out how I can give most amount of value with least amount of cost. So this is a very great learning which I got from you. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
finally your message to people if you have.
Well, to all, with due respect to all the gaming community and the I should say extended reality, virtual reality community in India, try to be humble as you can. It's not the Western world, to be very honest. It's not the hippie culture that we have. US follow us. Trust me, believe me. People who are from corporate world, they
Hmm.
follow the Indian ethics and rules.
Wow.
We are not coming from a land wherein a 20-year-old kid will probably talk to a 50-year-old or maybe 60-year-old gentleman with his or her name. It's not the culture that we have. It's not the culture that we have, which is like saying, hey buddy, how are you? That's not the culture.
Hmm.
And trust me, it's not a corporate culture.
It's not a corporate culture either. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you try to enhance yourself, it's funny. I'm not sure whether you can get it or not. Try to be like water. If you are in front of people who are with your same similar age, mix with them in that way.
Mhm.
Try to adapt things, learn things. It's not about only gaming or VR or AR or XR. See, these technologies that you have in your hand, these are all enablers. If you don't have the real business, if you don't have the real industry, they don't exist. Okay, they really don't exist. So try to learn the business part of it instead of only understanding the technology.
Totally.
Technology will always play its role. It's a bigger role. And being a techie like you and me, we always love technology, we always be in technology. But unless and until you understand becoming like water, it is going to be a very hard journey. It's not sustainable at all.
Totally. Take whatever shape is there and be flexible to adopt that. Amazing message from you. And also with this, we are really thankful that you are on the show. You have given at least this much amount of time to us, and we are really glad to have you on the show. And this was incomplete without you on the speaker list. So thanks for coming.
My pleasure, Ravi. It's my honor. Grow
Amazing.
more, do more.
Amazing. So we had today Arijit Bhattacharya, and Arijit Bhattacharya ji had an amazing portfolio. He shared all the stuff, and thank you Arijit da for giving us Shaktimaan and this many investment tips. So yeah, with this note, let's end the show here, and we'll see you next week with an amazing speaker again. So till then, take care of animals around you, take care of people who are needy and help them, and have a great time, guys.